Welcome home, bro.
My rent's got.
Woo! Lemon, ginger,
Hmm.
some honey from Ned. That should be that would be semi-cold as well, would it not?
It's I wouldn't say cold, but it's warm.
It's warm.
It's
Not burning.
yeah. How are you, mate?
Good. Welcome to the sanctuary. Welcome
Yeah,
back to the
appreciate
sanctuary.
it. It's good to be here. It's good to do this.
Yeah. Always good to have you at the sanctuary. Sanctuary's door is always open to Ned Lindsay.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, I've been looking forward to this. I was actually a bit nervous.
Mm.
I think yesterday. Yesterday I was just got a bit nervous. Just like I don't know. Yeah.
What do you reckon? Because of it's an undertaking, or it's a
Yeah, so in the kitchen, you spoke earlier. You kind of said how yesterday when you were muzzing, you were thinking about just trying to stay authentic, and that is kind of the path.
mm-hmm.
And you kind of said that can you just kind of repeat that again? 'Cause I wouldn't do it justice.
How the sole goal is to be 100% authentic in your art and your craft.
Yeah.
But it's a very difficult feat to achieve and you'll always have other people's influences and strains throughout your own style, but the goal when you make something is to never think about anyone else's opinion of it and or view, and it's like, I'm making this because I think this is cool. Fuck the views, fuck everything else. It's just like, I'm going to make the thing that I think is the coolest without anyone else's input
Yeah.
in your mind, because there's always in the back of your mind, there's always like,
Yeah.
I might change it because it's a little bit like this, so it's nah.
Well, I think this is kind of the first thing where I would get like public judgment. Like this feels like the first creative thing that would be putting out there that I think is like a good contribution to to the world in a way just that I'm into.
Mm-hmm.
It's a creative thing that I just want to do, but it will expose me, I guess, to like I'm revealing parts of myself and just like interest that I have that is open to that like public judgment. So I guess yesterday kind of just dawned on me a bit, and I felt that urge, like inclination to just cover, maybe not be fully truthful. It's just very easy to fold into like saying things that might be deemed a bit more appropriate or like a little less true and real. So I was telling my mates this morning and stuff. Yeah, I'm sitting down with Nelson. Like, what is it? And I was like, look, I'm a bit self-conscious now, but we're kind of believe that we want to have more mindful conversations and make it like it is something that people should have more regularly in a way, and just create a bit more like awareness of it, and like we want to put it out there, so we're just going to have those conversations. So, but it's good. It's a big growth on that sense. Like I'm kind of I pushed through a bit of a barrier this morning, I guess, telling my mates, and now doing it. So these little forces, yeah.
You're taking the first step, which is the hardest one.
Yeah. It's not even. I don't think it's. Yeah, you've been doing this for like a year now, so this is like a tiny first step, but.
Yeah, and it takes time. It just takes time, and you become more confident in your voice and the message that you want to support and what you want to say. And this is being able to have mindful conversations is something that I know you cherish in your life, and so do I. They don't come very often and easily in life because it's just things that people don't talk about. So I'd have confidence in that, in like you know how to speak about the mind and something you're obviously passionate about. So, and I am too. And this is a teamwork job. They come for you, they come for me. Come on, I'll give you my address. Mate. Come to my door. We'll sit down and talk to you about it.
It's true. We'll mindfully discuss it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny. So yeah, look, I'm excited though. So it was a bit scary, but it was good to watch the fear in a way and just see how I reacted. So yeah.
And I feel like a big part of this is just us. Like eventually the cameras will dissolve and we're sitting out here just chilling and talking about the mind.
I like that. Yeah, well said.
And like hopefully that's a goal that we have with potential people that we have here to talk to. Make them feel as comfortable as possible. Cameras aren't there. And yeah, let's just yarn.
Yeah, and just find something interesting. Like they've got something interesting to say. Like what is it? Just openly discussing that. And seeing what is interesting. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, anything you found interesting recently?
Are we asking the interesting question, or are we going?
What are you examining?
I reckon you go with it, bro. That was the first thing.
What are you examining? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That was the first question that Ned came to me with. The what are you examining? And I feel like that, as opposed to what do you find interesting lately? Because I feel like it's more on the route that we want to take the conversation down.
Nice. I like that, actually. That sets a good tone, because the interesting is an easier question for me to ask, because it's less. Yeah. Well said. So, what have you been examining? Oh.
A lot. A lot. I thought about this morning because I knew we were going to sit down and talk. I've been examining how to teach people about the mind and or spread the message and the trains of thought of like, let's take care of our minds more. Let's investigate the mind more. Harness tools to help with the mind's craziness, and all those things I just said, the mind, we just don't think about that much. And I've been thinking and examining, how do we spread that? I feel like we've both had very positive experiences with the adventure of self-discovery and it's a wild adventure, and the paths of going and investigating, thinking about the mind, practicing mindfulness and practicing things to take care of your mind. And because those experiences have been so profound for both of us, and we know anyone who does get involved and other people we have seen who have gone down that route, it's profound. It adds so much to your life. It is so beneficial, but it just doesn't have a lot of buy-in at the moment. So, and I've really been thinking like how does someone have to hit rock bottom to be able to then be like, okay, something's got to change. Let me change the perspective of my life and where I'm looking from. Then start taking care of and learning about the mind. Like, is that what has to happen? It's what happened with us. Like, I know we got close. I know. And a lot of the time, that's the way. You got to get close to rock bottom. So, I've just been examining how do we not do that? It's prehab as opposed to rehab.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah. What have you come with any answers? Like, come to any conclusions?
Like we're both in the craft of using videos. So potentially some type of video. Yeah, I don't know.
So we had a buddy here Monday night, and we did a 10-minute meditation with him. And
that's dope.
It definitely opened him up to it, and I heard he's been doing it this week just through a mate of his. That feels like potential ways in an environment like that. You do it, expose it to them, and kind of educate them lightly rather than them just kind of getting it on their phone or at the pub, regardless.
Bit of hand holding always helps.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, that's a small scale way of. It's not really replicatable. Oh, it could be replicatable large scale, but what do you? I mean,
it's a definite avenue. Like, shout out to George Weston, Serenity in Sitting, who ran a group meditation on Friday. And that those are potential routes. Get people who have never meditated before to come together, do some type of group meditation and be like, it's not that scary. It's actually really beneficial. It's like, it's almost, not a drug, but it's like it's something that once you realize how good it is, it's like, okay, I'm going to do this a bit more. So you give people that initial hit.
I'm just going to ask the question, do you think, like, those things, those public meditation things, do you think they actually do more harm than good? It's a tough question to ask. George West, I haven't seen your stuff. This is more like broad question, because I feel like the mindfulness, like pictured to a lot of people, can be a little weird. Like, all right, we're just going to go to a park with 14 people and like stare at the sun shirtless, and like we don't really. Yeah, I'm conscious of introducing the concept, and I'm wondering whether, like, I think it obviously does have a net positive, and it is good. But if I'm looking at bringing my mates and more people in general do those sorts of. Is that the right way of going about it? Like, it's definitely a good act, no doubt. But I'm conscious of like turning people off it. Like, oh, that's a bit. What's going on there? You know.
Are you saying that from? Yeah, no. And then people think and act differently in groups, as well. So you can have perception changes. So what do you do then? Just like individual sessions with people, or and then
maybe. I can't. I mean, I don't want to shit on group meditations. It's not. But
group meditation as well.
I do wonder about their effectiveness. Like, what is if their goal is to really make like an actual
change people's minds?
Yeah, on a big scale, like properly get society to really think about mindfulness and adopt it.
You do have converging energy states as well when you get a group meditation. So people find it easier when you have other experienced meditators around you. And that's why like a lot of monks meditate together.
Yeah.
A lot of groups meditate together all over the world. They make it a group thing so that it can make it easier for people to enter meditative states and let go of their thoughts and have a more refined investigation in their mind, being around. And that's a fact of, going back to, you can feel people's energy when you're around them. People have good energy.
Right.
People can deny that and say it's woozy-wazy, but it's fact. When you're around someone who has good energy, you feel it. Therefore, you get enough good energy people in a certain place. You set correct intentions.
Yep.
You hold good space. I can be like almost an accelerator, a trampoline into the meditation space.
Sure. Yep.
But
have you done one of those?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't. I've meditated with people, as I have with you and with lots of people around the place, but I haven't done a group one before. This is just theory that I've read. But it makes sense. It makes sense.
I think but like naturally, I think some synergy will build and a couple more people do it, and then I think it might click a little bit. Like more normal people, or just like it becomes a bit more.
Make it trendy.
Yeah, it becomes you just get some athletes maybe doing it, and then it should.
What up, guys? About meditating with the group.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's interesting to think about.
My question for you then, Lindsay, is what have you been examining?
I had a few things. I had one thing last night, a conversation with one of my best friends, and she kind of made the point that she is kind of optimistic about certain things, right? She has a mindset like blissful ignorance is okay, and if I'm blissfully ignorant and I'm happy about it, and I have an optimistic view of something, and it might actually be false, but I'm cool with it and I like it and it makes my day to day happy. Like that's fucking good, and let me be. And like it's actually right. Like it is. The argument was like I think that is sweet and it's actually a good thing. And I pushed back and I was like, well, what if it's incorrect? I actually compared it to Nazis. I was like, I don't know, I think people were blissfully kind of ignorant about the rise of Hitler, and they were optimistic about it, and that mindset of not challenging got you guys know how it turned out. And that wasn't great. Like she got pretty pissed off about that, which is kind of fair. But I did reflect on it a bit more.
Maybe not the best analogy.
No. Well, like I'm examining. Is that okay? That mindset. And sure, I don't have to challenge her. I was like, I want to challenge you. I want to push you to think about things from like that are real and get to the truth. But she was like, fuck off. And I was like, is that? Maybe I don't have these combos with her, but is that a fair mindset to adopt? So that was something I was examining. And she kind of told me to like a little bit, like, how about you take a bit of a breather, like take a step back, stop fucking getting to the bottom of shit. And I was like, is that another fair point? So I kind of two examinations there.
That's a good one as well because it's very fearful. I would compare it to like people almost, let's say they live underground in a small, like, in a space, and that's cozy and that's safe. You're living underground. Like, you can enjoy that and be ignorant down underground. There's a whole, if you go to the surface, there's a whole world. But living underground is safe and comfortable. You go out, the world is fucking scary, and that's what I would compare it to the mind. Like, you know, you can have veils and you can have like a lot of enclosure, and you know, you can be blissfully ignorant there. But and the reason people don't want to venture out is because it's scary when you open up your mind and you realize that, you know, there's layers to it. So, and people just aren't ready a lot of the time. That's what I would say as well. People just aren't ready, and when people aren't ready, you cannot force them. People got to want to buy in themselves. I've had a lot of that with people close to me in my life, where I'm like, you're just not ready to come down this path, and like it's really challenging, and it's kind of terrifying, those initial stages. So, you know,
do you think it's okay to not ever go down that inquiry and just, hey, I'm content?
I would say it's,
and I will add to her point. It was kind of like the significant, like we're a planet on a billion stars in this huge universe. Like there's significance there, but kind of just like how beautiful is it that we exist was kind of her frame point. Like, let's just enjoy that outrageous fact that we're kind of alive. It was that. It was like, I don't want to think more about it. I can't. It's crazy what's happening. I'm just going to enjoy it. So just adding that into her argument, but continue.
Yeah, amen. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's incorrect. Like, everyone's obviously entitled to do their own thing, and it's hard to comment on. All I would say is there's cake that you're not tasting. Like, there's more. There's more out there. There's a cleaner, quieter state of mind. There's a lot of peace, a lot of inner peace, a lot of outer peace. There's a whole smorgasbord of cake that you're just not tasted. But also in that same sentence, like, you know, respect. Like, if that's what you want to do, go nuts. I feel like what we're trying to do is to drip feed a little bit of that in and be like, allow people to make decisions in their own time, and be like, okay, I do have, because you can be blissfully ignorant, but you can also go through some shit, and you can go through a whole bunch of tough times, and it's like, what tools do I have at my disposal to help me? Because you cannot run from the mind, and at some point in time, the mind's a crazy thing, and it can lead you down some paths and into some places, especially when, you know, big profound things happen in your life. Sometimes, like, you know, tough things happen in your life. So I would say, you know, getting some weapons in your arsenal to help you out is always good. You don't have to completely, you know, become a monk, but learn to take some deep breaths.
I wish I came at it from this argument rather than like, yeah, you could be a Nazi, mate.
What you're doing is comparable to Nazis.
Fuck, she jayed out. It was fair enough. Yeah. But obviously, you know, you got the point. I wasn't calling her a Nazi.
I got the point.
Yeah. No, well said. Yeah, well articulated. So, yeah. So that was one thing I was examining. So it was quite interesting. There was a dude also. Do you remember Soulbra? Have you heard of Soulbra? So this Aussie guy from WA, and he sort of started this like lifestyle, the aesthetic of the body and the sun, etc. And I had an interesting convo with this dude, and he just kind of said how he was so attached in this phase of Soulbra and just that whole movement, and that now he's kind of grown out of it, where he is like detached. He's kind of got the information he's needed, and now he's detached from the investment in it and the investment in the person, and he kind of just operates in his day to day. And I thought that was quite an interesting way of doing it, because you do go through that process of like learning and getting into it, and like you're on the notifications, you're really subscribed, and then you kind of get to a point where you don't need that all-in jolt, and you can kind of just operate. And we both got to that detachment stage through being really engrossed in the movements, and I was kind of like, do you have to get that engrossed to reach that detached phase, or can you kind of see through the trees early on and realize like, okay, the detached, you don't want to be so involved. Does that make sense? That question? Yeah, I wanted your thoughts. I didn't know if you did have to go through that aggressive, whatever you want to call it.
It's person to person.
Yeah,
like
it's person to person.
I'm pretty type A. Like when I found out about meditation and important in life when I needed it was like, all right, I'm doing this every day.
Yeah,
I'm rinsing this every day for 6 months because that's just the type of person I am. I'd say other people, little drip feeds along the timeline. But yeah, I was the same. I was the most effective just jumping in.
I guess, like, movement less so being meditation, and movement was more. I guess it would be more so like into the fads, like into like really aggressive meat trends or kind of like blue light, like not turning off your phone, like kind of those aggressive health trends that you go through. Then on the other end, you get the overall picture a lot better. It's like, all right, I care about my health. That's the point. But I'm not over optimizing like I was. But we kind of went through that over optimization stage to get to the other side of like, okay, don't need to do that. Wondering if you kind of do have to go through that real sink your teeth in, get too involved in a way to finally chill out a bit.
It's good experimentation time. You need to iterate through. I'm sure through your trial and error phase, it's like, what works?
For sure.
What works?
For sure.
There's a whole bunch of the stuff that doesn't work.
That's me in a nutshell. I have to, I've definitely gone to, learn from the experiences to get to a specific understanding.
Yeah, no, I was the same. Like I've tried a bunch of different optimizations, and you learn what your body likes, doesn't like, responds to. But yeah, you're throwing spaghetti at the wall. Let me throw a whole bucket full instead of like just little bits. I'm throwing shit at the wall.
That's funny. I do have a tough question for you, and I wasn't.
What have you been cooking up?
I wasn't sure if I was going to ask you, but I think it's quite an important one, and I want you to like obviously don't read into it too much, but would you say with your Instagram, like your 50 days of poetry in a row, I thought were outstanding. Like the content was so good, and it was such a high production value, the storytelling, the vibe, it was elite, and I was kind of like, why hasn't the page blown up a little bit, like gotten a bit more traction in a way? Did that thought cross your mind? And I've got a second follow up, but I'll ask that first.
Yeah, of course it crossed my mind.
Right.
Of course. And yeah, when I was making the daily poems, like I was looking, first thing I looked at in the morning, it's like you look at your performance. And I guess this ties back into what I was saying at the start of like trying to be 100% authentic. And it takes a bit more time, I'd say, especially when you're trying to carve out your own space and your own niche. So yeah, I did get, and I always get caught up in thinking about that. It's hard not to. It's like, that's your reward system. That's your metrics are your reward system. And it's like, how many it is. It's like almost in the Instagram game, it's like how many views you get and how many followers you're getting is sometimes, a lot of the time, what only people look at. I shifted that perspective away and just being like, if I can go back and watch my reels and be like, that's a good reel.
Yeah, yep.
And be happy with that. That's all I care about. And therefore, I'm building a portfolio of work that if people see my stickers, get given a business card, whatever, find out about me, they can go and be like, okay, that's a representation of him, regardless of followers. So that's what I'm aiming towards.
Okay.
Build up a portfolio, and forget about how many people's eyes are on it.
Yep.
But have it good so that when people do go and see it, if people do, like I'm a full-time videographer, like in my world, people are going to be like,
what's he doing? Yeah.
What's he doing? You rub shoulders with someone and say, yeah, give me Instagram. So that people are like, oh, this is funky.
Yep.
Instead of like, this is rushed. This is
inauthentic.
Yeah.
Just a bit, yeah.
Nah, that's like, okay. I kind of know who he is now. I kind of know what, he stands for, what he'd make for me.
Is this question? I'm going to ask this question, and do you think this is a fair question to ask? Is the problem poetry, or is the problem Nelson's poetry?
I would say there's no problem.
Asking that question, because your answer before, well, I would say maybe you don't need to ask that question of like, is the problem poetry or Nelson's poetry? Because you like the reels you're doing, you're creating like an authentic storyboard of content for people to visit. I guess through the lens of gaining traction, then I was asking that question. Like, all right, put out all this content. Good content should get followers. You know, I mean, it's not always.
The cream of the crop will always rise to the
Top. And this has been a few months, so it's all, yeah. But that question is a pretty scary question to ask.
Yeah, maybe I'm not good enough as well. Like, and I always ruminate on that, being like, my skills aren't there. Let's improve.
Nice.
Like, let me upskill. Let me increase the quality of said reels or said videos, so that like it's just on an upward trajectory. And if I can increase quality, story, feel, vibe, music selection, rhythm, if I can just increase all this and improve, then I don't know. It's almost like you can't fail in a way. Might not happen in the timeline I'm thinking.
Right.
But
poetry is the vehicle though for those videos in a way.
100%. 100%.
If everything's awesome around it, but the poetry might not be great, then you might struggle. Like,
yeah, I'm still gonna make
there's
some
a
stuff.
ceiling. The ceiling isn't that high if the poetry isn't awesome. Or what's your take on that?
Poetry again is like not the words as well. It's the state of mind that I live in, so that I'm gonna make some stuff that is wordless, underrated. I've always had that in mind, but it's just like the feeling that you get from the videos. So I wouldn't say I'm worried about. I obviously want to write better, make the poems better when I do that. But I'm just trying to make stuff that is most aligned with that. Live as true to me as I can in my life. The things that bleed out of that, and just capture little moments of that, and then craft and make something from that. All stemming back from living as authentically as possible and trying to live the life that I want to live, in alignment with goodness, love, craftsmanship, fun, movement, dance, so just trying to live as me as possible and capture that along the way.
Thanks. I appreciate your perspective on that. Yeah, I think you're thinking about it the right way. Like, being caught up in the follower trap, isn't the right mindset at this stage, I think. So it's a long-term game, bro.
I would ask you the question as well. Like, Ned's been making some videos, 90-day Ned. Complete that bit out if you like. And I went and watched them all back last night. Yeah. First of all, fucking outstanding. Oh, I love them. I sent you some messages. I was like,
you did.
This is that. And
I appreciate that.
They're petite, but and not even. A lot of them are quite substantial. But it's clear the effort you've put in. You're thinking about story. It's funky. It's definitely uniquely Ned, which is beautiful. So, but my question to you then is, you're on private.
Yeah.
And keeping it like it's been on private. So like what was the thought process of that?
Sure. The thought process was I haven't really ever put content out there, and I kind of view it as a muscle you build, especially just feeling comfortable putting content out there.
Pause for a second.
Yeah, go for it.
You gotta restart this camera.
No, you're good. We can skip this question, bro, as well. No,
okay. No, man.
I'm kidding.
You're not getting out that easy. Go, lad.
Putting content out is you're building a muscle to feel comfortable about putting content, and like fear of just not giving a fuck, I guess, is the muscle to build. So smallest scale possible is just putting content out to close friends, and each day, and some of the content's not good, but that's kind of the muscle to build. And the next step would be public, and I feel a lot more comfortable opening it up now to public rather than so it's done its it's done its job, which was build that muscle to an extent. Like, still got a long way to go, and also just get into the mindset of editing and capturing things and putting stuff out there. So it's done its, I'd say it's served its purpose to this point.
Beautiful.
Well, but thanks for the kind words. But what's your take on that? Because it's a little bit scared. Like, the real answer is to put it public.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't want this shit out there.
But it might, I don't know, I think there's validity to the point that I might not be ready for that. Like, I don't want to hurt the authenticity of the product in a way. And if I opened it public, it might discolor my lens. I might start tailoring it a bit, be conscious of the wider audience, which, I want to protect that a little bit at the start.
Those are some fire lines.
Yeah, cheers.
Very well articulated. And I agree. You got to train in the dojo, close doors for a bit before you go out in the ring and start fighting motherfuckers. And I did the same. Like, when I first began my video creation journey, I made 10 films before I posted my first one.
Wow, okay.
So I made 10 YouTube videos, like 10...
this is prior to the triathlon
video, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So the Iron Man movie was my first posted movie, but it was my 10th that I'd made.
Really?
Yeah.
What were the 9 you'd made before that?
Just like funky things in my life.
Pornos.
But they're in the hundreds. That's where my skills come from. But yeah, just things in my life that I thought were funky. I made a video about my, like some of them just about the rooms that I've lived in as well. Like, you live in a space for 12 months, or like I lived in a few different houses, had different college rooms, and my last college room, like I lived in that place. I went through a lot in that space. It was very formative for me.
What's it called again?
The Palace.
Palace.
The Palace.
Iconic.
And it was a doozy room. East and west facing windows, right. Big open area, couch, desk, bed. Almost had 3 rooms: office, bedroom, living room, in one quite spacious room.
What was in that video? What did you talk about?
I didn't talk about anything. It was just a time. Actually, I did. It was narrated, so it's just basically an early, like, it's just a poem. It was just an early.
That's cool.
Test, an early beta of the poem videos, but in horizontal. And yeah, all filmed on my phone, and just like what the space meant to me, and what growth I'd gone through, and some big realizations that I'd come to in that time, which were profound to me, and expressing that in the video form over time, like filming just little bits all throughout the year and piecing them together, friendships I formed. So those type of videos, just like things that had happened in my life that were significant.
You just practiced throughout those 9, editing Final Cut?
Right? Final Cut.
Right. And then you obviously, was it a big deal putting out the triathlon video publicly for you?
100%. 100%. I was terrified.
It's got 100K views, by the way, just quietly.
My only successful video has been the first video I made. Proof of concept that, I can...
That's so good, yeah.
But legit, it's the only, in terms of views, it's the only successful video I made was the first video. Right. If you look at the metric of views. I think it's in a lot of ways, an immature me. Like, a lot of the parts I can't go back and watch, because it's just like, it's not who I am now. I think it's got parts of me, and that's just like looking back at myself from 4 years ago. So it's just a little bit cringe to me. But, making those videos in silence and in quiet and in darkness before, shining light on your work, I feel like is very important. And I learned that from a few musicians in America and hip hop artists who formed groups, practiced, riffed for a year, just in their living rooms, just before they took their art public, and being like, we've got something, I believe in this, I like this craft, let's practice, so that you come in to the party at a level like this, instead of coming in and trying to rise up.
Nice. Yeah.
So you're in the dark now. You're in the dojo.
Yeah. I still feel like, it's true that there's so much to learn in such a long climb. Sometimes I struggle to see the progress a little bit, but that's more on me means I'm not challenging myself enough. So just like,
but there's definite progress there as well. Like
Right.
looking at your reels,
Yeah.
they're funky, obvious progress.
right, yeah,
So and sometimes you need to hear that. I'm gonna voice that to you.
yeah.
You're progressing in a good direction.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, appreciate it.
Especially it's such a like in essence an early time. You've had this camera for how long?
2 months, 6 weeks, 2 months.
How long have you been editing Final Cut Pro?
Yeah, probably just 2 months, 6 weeks, 2 months.
Early.
Yeah.
You plant a tree, you water it for 2 months. Motherfucker's small.
Yeah, early. That's a good point. Yeah.
It's early.
Yeah. And I keep looking at the videography kind of timeline as like something I want to be doing. It's not a 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, like something, it's a lifelong craft in a way. So like, it's kind of, it gives me a reassurance in a little bit, just like, all right, enjoy it. Like, enjoy this. Don't, yes, there is stresses that should incline you to act, which is good, but at the same point, like it's a lifelong thing. Don't just rush in or get scared, like worry about it in a way that's unproductive. So does that make sense?
It does. You got to nurture that.
Yeah. It's a good mindset to sink into in a way.
Right, planting a garden takes time, and you're planting it the way that you want to. But as you say, if you will happily sit in that garden for the next forever, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, then it's like hectic. If you work on a craft like this for 5, 10 years, you're gonna learn stuff. You're gonna be better at your craft. And if you commit to it forever, you cannot fail because you will get better. You chop wood for 10 years, you're gonna be good at chopping wood. You'll probably have experimented with a few things. Fuck around with cameras for 10 years, you're probably gonna be pretty good. So
I'm kind of nurturing this, at least at this stage, like a lot of this, thinking about the stories. I think that's really important. And just understanding how you want to tell a story and how you view the world. Like, I think that's kind of the real essence of, because the videography skills and technicalities will come along, but like nurturing that storytelling, and finding is like the essence of this craft.
Beautiful. I love, I want to ask you this question about how you came into videography. How'd you have this idea arise?
It's a good question. It's like, you want to answer it like fully honestly and like correctly, so I might just have to think about it.
I want to be famous.
I did have a bit of an epiphany moment last year in Austin because I was producing a podcast called Meat Mafia, and we did an episode with this guy called Zach Pogrob. Right? So we did an episode with Zach, recorded in New York, and I'm editing the trailer reel. And I've got this idea for the trailer reel. So Pogrob mentality is like obsession, right? The idea of obsession. All the greatest achievers, they were obsessed. And I created this trailer reel of just trying to capture the essence of greatness and obsession in this trailer, along with some words from Zach, etc. And I just got locked. It was a weekend. I just locked myself in on this trailer. I got deep in the editing lab, right? And came out on the other. I think during the editing phase, I was like tired and it was tough, and it was fucking sweaty. And you're locked in, and you're like, yeah, just you've been in there, right? And it was kind of in there. I was like, fuck. I was like, this is what I'm meant to be doing, like making these videos and editing. And I was like, fuck, because I was like, this is crazy, dude. I've been in here for like 12 hours, and I'm like, this is going to be my life. Because I was like, I think this is what I have to do. Because I was just so into it, and it was my soul in a way going into this edit. But that was kind of the epiphany moment. And my reaction was like laughter and like, fuck. But it was also kind of joyous in a way. But I've been staring at a screen for 10 hours, so I was like, fuck. That was a bit of an epiphany moment.
I actually didn't know that. I didn't know about that moment.
There was the journey wasn't a lot of ways to, a lot of things along the road to get to there. A lot of other sorts of moments, but that was one that made me kind of get on the video, like understand the videography part.
Light bulb moment.
Yeah.
Ding.
Ding. Ding. And what does videography have to do with editing, like a podcast reel? Well, I was capturing B-reel, and I'd love to have captured that B-reel, and thought about the process of getting that, and that's what videography. That's part of videography. So yeah, bring it back to you.
That I would say as well. Like you got to have awareness in those moments as well, because if you didn't have awareness in the moment to notice your soul singing out to you, being like,
"Can't." Sorry. Yeah. Like, right.
Can't.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, if you're not aware, you can't hear that singing, and
it was singing, man. Like you're in there, like you're like, yes,
I'm making something.
Yeah, you're like bouncing. Yeah, and you could, I could feel. I was like, man, I've felt like some of these emotions, like, really come out, and it was the soul was definitely there. So
the magnetism of it,
and it was powerful. It was,
and people feel that for different things, obviously, and it's been aware in those moments of being like, okay, maybe this is it, like, because a lot of people will do things and not be aware of that, and you realize that your soul might be crying, or it should be singing somewhere else. So you pick up your clarinet you haven't touched in a year, and it's like, or 10 years, and it's like, nah. In another life, you could have been a clarinet player.
Dude, yeah. I'm quite happy it's this craft. Like, it'd be funny if I was just plugging a toilet and I was like, "This is it. Fuck, I feel it."
Is this it? You're looking around. You're like, "Fuck, if you enjoy it."
Yeah, I fucking love it.
That's what you're meant to be doing.
Yeah, mate. Thanks. Well said about the awareness point. That's it. It's a good pick-up. What about you?
How did I fall into this trap?
Do you have an epiphany? How did you fall into this trap?
No, I'll retract that statement. Fall into this. I'd say it's like Alice in Wonderland. You fall down the rabbit hole and there you are, in a whole new world. And I came into videography I wanted to document my life. And I always loved to read, and I always loved stories. And I wanted to tell stories. And I do that a little bit through the medium of writing and being able to express stories in that way. But I was like, I want to capture my life as well. I want to tell stories about my life. I had rinsed YouTube for like years in my youth. A half decade of just like my screen time was up there of just watching. That was especially during school and just like watching a bunch of YouTube videos of like people telling stories, and it's everything from documentaries to philosophy to gaming to like Casey Neistat, like vlogs. So I watched a bunch of YouTube, and I was like, I guess I fell in love with it, and that was my absorption and training ground in a way, because I learned. I feel like that those years were pivotal in my forming in my own head. I guess I was unconsciously forming a style that I liked, but I consumed a lot of YouTube. I consumed a lot of videos, and that, I was like, okay, I want to give this a go, and then began filming on my phone, and then it just like snowballs from there. But being able to film on my phone and making it a really low stakes adventure in a way, because it's like learning a camera's hard, and it can play with your mind a bit, because it's like you're not thinking about the story anymore, you're thinking about exposing correctly and all the 18 different things you got to get right for a shot to look good, instead of point and shoot with the phone. So really, I feel like that really helped my development. Just filming with my phone, and I filmed a little bit with my phone, and I was like, this is it. I really enjoy this. I feel like the first movie I ever made was a trip, like a trip highlight of a Europe trip I took with 8 of my mates when we were 19 years old, like straight out of school. It was, I put 2 songs to it, I cut it together, and I put 3 songs to it, cut it together, and I sat at the computer screen. iMovie.
Classic.
iMovie on my mum's computer.
Classic.
And that was like 4 or 5 hours. The time just went like that. And I was up there and just pieced it all together. And I was like, holy shit. It took me a year to sit down and do that.
Wow.
I did it in 1 session. So I don't know, I've just been putting it off for so long. And then I guess I was scared. I was a big fear barrier. That I sat down one time with my iMovie on Mum's computer and rinsed out that full video, and that video like made me feel something. It was reminiscent, made me feel nostalgia. It made me, it took me through the joyous moments, and being able to express that in video form, those emotions, I was like, this is it. You can take people on a journey through a video, make them think and feel things, and most importantly, make them think differently, make them feel new things, open up new neural pathways in their mind, which is what a lot of art does. But video has the combination of visual, and music, and potentially narration and voice over the top of that. So it's like
so much you can do.
You're coming at someone from all angles.
Yeah.
Like if you get someone into your video, into your content, like you've got them from all different angles. It's not like a painting that's on the wall, music that's in your ears. It's like I'm
yeah. Do you think it detracts from like the real world in a way? Because you have to watch it on a screen in a specific place, and it takes up, you're not really engaging, interacting with the world. Like, what is the future of video? Do you think it more adapts to that problem, or
I was just, my initial thought was like, all videos are some type of surreal romanticism. Like it is capturing life, but the vast majority of them, it's not real life. It's some type of twist or sprinkle of pixie dust. It's a romanticism. It's a visualization of life. But a lot of stuff doesn't do that. A lot of stuff like documentaries, although it's piecing stuff together. So,
like I don't really watch that much stuff at the moment. Partly because,
nice.
Cheers. Not to say that I'm just pro interacting with you. I don't know. I just don't find. I've never really been huge into watching stuff. Partly because maybe that I do have a bit of a problem with like. I'm conscious of sitting there, and inside of me is like, no, I want to maybe be out there in the world and not like spend so much time watching stuff. But mate, is that wrong way of thinking about it? Like, I feel like there's a solution where you can bridge that, but I don't, because video is so important. Telling those stories are really important. How do people get exposed to that? But I don't love the medium which is in front of us, not the screen necessarily, and.
On your phone.
Time is such a valuable resource. Like it is time, and it is sitting there, on a phone or a screen.
In a dark room with all the lights off.
Yeah. Maybe it's just walking around with a helmet.
I don't know. I feel like then to assist with that, like a role of your videos, our videos, a role I want from my videos is to potentially make people retract from that and be like, okay, I want to go out into the world. Because video games very saturated. It's very now the economy is very quick and snappy, and it's an attention economy where you lose people quickly. But having some type of at least the role I want in my videos is to respect and mirror the things that we value, which is being out and about and in the world, so that other people might be like, Let me go have a look. Let me get outside.
Yeah, nice.
Let me be out and about.
And then to the person that has gotten your message and is out and about and having a look, where do they come across their content? Like let's say they're not scrolling or not really on socials and stuff. I mean, they just actively want to seek it out in a way, and there's no problem with that.
Yeah. Also, there's no.
Yeah.
If someone's out and about, it's your first steps ticked off. I don't know if you understand the question.
I guess, like, once the message has come across to the person, like, all right, let's say that our message we're putting across is just get out there, man. Like,
just get out there.
Once they have gotten the message and they're out there, they might not come across your content again because they're out there.
Beautiful.
All right. Okay,
success.
Cool. Good.
Success. I've done my job.
People are like, you've lost subscribers. You're like, good. Fucking God left.
I hope they're out taking deep breaths, laughing with a stranger, patting a dog, I don't know.
Yeah, nice.
Buying a bike. buying a
A
bike.
camera.
Close. Yeah.
Don't
No, we don't. We don't. We don't need more people in the video world. On a bike. Closest thing to flying. Quote me on that.
Yeah.
Get out on 2 wheels. 2 wheels for the win. 2 wheels will make you feel something.
Yeah.
Once your ass stops hurting and you're used to the seat, 2 wheels is it.
Bikes, including scooters or just bikes?
I'd say anything with 2 wheels.
Yeah. I
Unicycle.
think having a quiver, call it a quiver. The scooter and the bike is good to have in the quiver for sure. It's very different. Like, it is a different feeling because we're using your legs. In a way, it's more exercise.
People power.
Yeah.
It's like riding a horse, but you are the horse.
Yeah.
If you want to go forward, you got to urge yourself forward. Instead of on a horse, you got to urge the horse.
And if you're on a scooter, you are the person riding the horse. But if it's a bike, you are the horse. Fucking get into that.
Get that on a mug.
I would come full circle on that point of back to when we were speaking about mindfulness at the start and how to tell it. Do you think there is a place for video in the coming years? And I would like to tap into that. How to spread awareness of it in a approachable way for people to consume, rather with connotations that they relate to. That makes sense. Yeah. So curious to explore that with video. I don't think there's much of it, and if there is, I don't know if it's done very well. So, interesting niche.
Very nice.
Maybe it's done well, and I'm not actually watching much content, so maybe I'm just fucking out of it. But
maybe we are. But no, I would say yes, and like going back to the point of like gentle hand holding. Maybe a video is a gentle handhold into the space and being like, all right, come in, sit down, as that initiation and as teaching people about the mind. And I thought about that when I watched one of your reels last night, the one where you had the animations. It's quite an early one, when you're still filming on your phone.
Oh, the
animations and it was of your mind.
Oh yeah. That was. I want to do more of those. Yeah. Did you get the concept?
I did.
Yeah, nice.
And that was like
unhook.
And you had a little hook.
Unhook's such a good word.
Yeah,
I had the hook. That was fucking funny trying to make that video.
It's a good video. I watched that and I was like, this is a way.
It wasn't clean, but it was.
It was pretty clean.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty clean.
Yeah.
You gotta unhook yourself from that.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, I watched that and I was like, this is a way to do that. So yeah, let's explore that video stuff. I feel like that's something that I want to talk to you today about as well at some point. Let's explore how to use video to show the experience of being in your mind. I feel like that's something you can do.
Nice.
Because then it's like almost a handhold being like, okay,
yeah, I'm
empathy. We're in this together. I felt what you felt. I felt what you have all felt. Like, this is not, a lot of times it's not a solo, it's not a solo thought and venture. Like, other people have been there. So you can show people about the experience and how others have been there too. And how to get some weapons in the arsenal. Get a few things in your quiver.
Yeah.
Get a couple arrows in your quiver.
Nice. Simple, but I agree.
The monsters are going to come
what
out.
You're saying. Yeah. Arrows in the quiver. There's something there. Something to build around.
I'm stealing that. I'm stealing the quiver.
The arsenal is just military warfare around. Dirty mindfulness tools.
No, good analogy.
Dope, dude. Hey, this was great.
It's been great.
I think we covered. I think we examined some good shit.
I want to ask one more question.
Please.
And we don't have to have this in. We can cut this, but what is your ambitions for this? Think big, and where can you see what we're doing going? Curious to know.
With this
medium, using
this specifically, or more so like
this specifically.
Yeah. I'll let you finish the question. That was that. Just
I think
I got the essence.
Yeah, maybe I had finished the question.
Yeah. on one point, like on one hand, looking at it pretty simply, which is something I want to put out into the world. That's all. Just not looking at metrics. Don't really care about how well it's going, or how many eyeballs we get, because it's like a good creative energy that I want to put out there,
Mm-hmm.
that I care about. But on the other hand, like, yeah, what would be an ambitious goal that I'm conscious of and probably striving towards would be, yeah, just making these conversations more commonplace, bringing interesting guests, right? I'm sure there's people who might be thinking similar stuff that we aren't aware of, right? And then they can come on here, they can chat, and then hopefully this builds into a series, and we can continually do this over years and build an audience of people that are interested in it, and just builds and expands. And look, yeah, ambitious goal would be, this is like a cog of building that awareness of sort of mindfulness in a way, and self-examination. So that's, am I not being direct? Do you reckon I'm not being direct enough with the answer to that ambition?
No, I like that.
Because, like, yeah,
but I would even say, because I pushed asking for, like, always, like, give me a number there or something. But the initial bit of, like, let's just make something that we're happy about, we're passionate about the topic, and want to make some good art. That's it. Full stop. Let's just make.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That is actually the honest answer. I think the follow-up was more.
I love the follow-up though, because it shows that you're.
Yeah, that's around the cognizance, but at its core, it is certainly that. Yeah. Which brings a bit of. It sounds like that's pretty similar to you, but it makes this easy in a way.
I'm just doing this for fun.
Yeah. How do you feel? Anything to add on that?
I would completely agree. And you need to have some type of ambition, because that's your fuel.
We both care about it, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
Hey, nice. Good stuff. Sick.
Nice. Bro, I'm going to get so grilled tonight.
That's great.
We've got that last
we'll leave that in.
Yeah. Completely devalidate.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, just crazy.
I took off this morning